Good morning and welcome. Before we begin our service, let us take a moment to share in our stone ritual. I place a stone for our joys. One for our sorrows. And one for our intentions for the coming week.
The UUCT care team follows up with congregants who are experiencing joys or sorrows. The care team also addresses needs of congregants. The care team can be contacted by email at careteam@uutampa.org. And now to our service.
Good morning. Welcome all to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tampa. If it's your first time here, we hope you will stay with us a while, visit for a time, get to know us. We will make every attempt to reach out to you. We hope you will do the same. We are a welcoming place. We exclude no one except a few hotheads who I select personally, and no. We even include a few hotheads, which makes us test us all character and helps us grow as people. I don't know why I got frivolous this fast. Maybe it's the topic I'm looking at late. I'm going to sound like a airplane announcer now. You have a lot of ways to spend your time, a lot of opportunities to fly different places. We're glad you fly with this bunch of misfits. Welcome all. Thank you. I lit our chalice this morning. We struggle in the world we live in to find things that mean something. Our Unitarian Universalist Association has spent some money and a lot of research time on branding. We talk about product. We try to represent ourselves in a way to depict something of meaning of what we're about. Unitarian Universalism adopted the Flaming Chalice sort of unofficially about 70 years ago. It came out of humanitarian response to the devastation of the victims on site in World War II in Europe. The Unitarian Service Committee rescued one of the artists, a Dutch, and he invented this little simple chalice, a cup with a flame, and he put a circle around it. And the Unitarian Service Committee saw this, and they were trying to find some way to distinguish themselves from the American Red Cross or some of the other social agencies that responded, and the chalice became a part of that understanding and expression. Over the years, almost all Unitarian Universalist congregations will have that in some depiction. A common cup coming out of the Protestant Reformation of 600 years ago that said not only is it to the priest to go to the cup, the sacrament, the Holy of Holies, but it's an open cup, a free cup. A cup expressed for everyone. Religion, meaning the search for truth, is an open path, not restricted to those in authority or those who are supposed to know. So our chalice is a depiction of a cup, really. And the flame from it is our imagination. It can depict knowledge, wisdom, illumination, warmth. I think it means love. That fire that's in the heart of life that everyone who is alive finds appealing. No person in the world can live long without affection, without regard, without blessing, and that's what love's about. So our symbol, our celebration is acknowledging our search for truth, our affirmation of those things we learn, probing around for some new idea that will lift us and bless us, and the kindness, forgiveness, compassion that is required in human life if life have any depth, meaning, and beauty. So welcome to this place. I call us all to the celebration of what is possible, what love can mean, the hope we can find.
And now, everybody, we're going to sing number 128 in our hymnals, For All That Is Our Life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
All right, good morning. If any of the children that aren't down here want to come on down, we've got a story this morning. You guys can come sit right here with me. All right. So this morning, we're going to be talking about covenants. So our faith has a covenant. It's our 7 principles, and it's on the back of our order of service. Our church has one, and we make covenants in our RE classes, in our chalice circles, and in other small groups. So a covenant is like a promise that we make to one another. And a promise is something you say that will always be and will never end, kind of like a circle, because a circle has no ending also. So today we're going to think about our covenant as like a circle. So we promise to respect each other. We promise to help each other learn. We promise to help everyone be heard. And we promise to take care of our earth and work for peace. And now a covenant is a little different from rules, because rules usually tell us things that we can't do. But when we make a covenant, we talk about things that we will do. And so, and something else that is round is a ball. Okay? Sometimes we forget our promises, but like a ball, when we fall down, so we bounce right back up. There we go. And do you guys see any other circles up here? Anything up near me? Up here? There we go. So we've got 2 circles around our chalice there. And that reminds us of the promises that we've made to one another. All right, and everyone does not have yet. We have round pieces of paper in the back. Some of our youth are going to pass a few out, but if you don't get one, they're going to be back by our tree. So what I'd like to ask each of y'all to do is take a round piece of paper and a pen and write something about the covenant that really speaks to you or a part that you think is really important. And we're going to fill up our tree in the back here with them so we can all see them. And if you don't get one right now, they'll be sitting back there waiting for you to do during coffee hour. So, and now Abby is going to help us pass our flame over. Would you like to come on up, Abby? Now, from generation to generation, we light this flame of religious freedom. And now we're going to follow Abby out to go now in peace as we go to our religious exploration classes. All right, go right down the middle.
We are nonconformists in this congregation. We are the ones who hear that different drummer. We are the ones who walk different ways in our faith, our spiritual, religious life. Sometimes we even get caught up in language. We learned that when we talked about worship and talked about Sunday services. We have lost words that don't mean much anymore. We have negative words that hurt us still because of the meanings they carry for us. But one of the things that is important in our lives today, especially in our lives today, are moments of silence, are moments dedicated to the pursuit of what you need to be dealing with. Now, every Sunday I try to devote at least a minute or more to a time of silence. Sometimes I talk too much and try to describe it for you and lead you into it. Sometimes I don't say enough, probably. But let's put it this way. For the minute or so that's going to follow in a moment or two, you are given the opportunity to deal with things that need to be dealt with in your life. I can't look at it and tell you what to work on, but I think your heart knows it and your mind knows it. If it's just simply a moment of rest, if it's simply a moment of trying to categorize what you need to be about, if it's a moment to forget about something, do that. It's a chance for each of us to explore our spiritual path, our ideas, our struggles, our emotions. So in a time of silence, be where you need to be, dealing with what you need to deal with. It may be in the form of prayer, meditation, reflection, however you categorize it, however you frame it, let it be yours for your soul, your spirit, and for your blessing. From mystery to mystery we live. Really a brief time of consciousness and expression. Our personality engages the world. The special individual that we are takes shape, gives expression, journeys through life. Receiving and giving, changing and becoming, and then passing back again into mystery. For those who have blessed us along the way, let us be mindful. Those who've challenged and hurt us, let us be compassionate. And take from those pains and those scars the lessons that we have been taught to make our life wiser, fuller, and deeper. For the wonder of the blessings that come our way, unbeknownst to us, unintended, unexpected, we say thank you. For all that we cannot understand, let us find patience. And if we need to be about forgiving ourselves, finding forgiveness, let us claim it. And let us be about the act of a fuller, deeper life, expressing ourselves with love and compassion, pushing down fear, moving through fear with an ideal and an expression and a living in love. The wonder of life is there for us to behold and participate in. Let us not neglect it. Let us always find ways to appreciate it. In the name of all that's holy to the human heart, let this be my prayer. Amen.
Hello, everyone. Our next hymn is number 131, Love Will Guide Us. Tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
You have two choices for sermon today. The cover says faith for the post-religious. The inside says faith of the post-religious. And I like what Gandhi said. I found that quote, faith is not something to grasp, it's a state to grow into. But I have a problem. Could we be wrong? Could we be wrong? Maybe the imperialists are right. What if we are wrong? What if the forces of reaction and authoritarianism are right? Well, look at the evidence. Look at what the last 500, 600, 700 years have brought. After World War II, we went to San Francisco. We crafted a universal declaration of human rights. We looked to a new possibility and a new potential. My mother and others had been a part of conquering the theory of the atom bomb. We had the power of God's in our hands, and we set up a vision of the world where there would be peace and cooperation and plenty, and justice and democracy and human rights would rule over the lands. And where are we today? Maybe we're wrong. Look on the back of your order of service. Look at the 7 principles of the Unitarian Universalist Association. Maybe that's poppycock. Maybe that's ridiculous pipe dreams of some knee-jerk liberals who don't know the reality. Maybe it just is eat dog, fight, violence, and subjugation. Maybe it is someone in a robe, prettier than this one, dictating to the world how they ought to be. Maybe you haven't given enough. Maybe you haven't sacrificed enough. Maybe you haven't kowtowed enough to the powers that be. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe the faith for the post-religious, those who've come away from all of that crap, is to say, well, we haven't got it right yet. We are still working on it. Human beings are terrible disappointments. Look at the choices we make. Look at the standards of culture we ascribe to. Look at the values that we invest in. How's public education going for us? How's health care going for all people? How's our taxes being applied to innovative ways of transportation and information? How is it with the world right now, we as humanists, as scientists, as rationalists directing it? Now see, the premise of my ideas this morning when I started was to outline you how we're post-religious. How that now the church, Billy Graham, the Pope, whoever, they are not really authorities in our life anymore. They don't express to the culture how things ought to be. And as I looked at it closer and I studied a little bit more thinking about it, that's never been the way. Religious folks have always been in the minority, pushing against a barbarism that is of human nature. And we come on the back of this order of service and we talk about the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Ha! I doubt that. I've known some real trash, haven't you? I'm really nearly serious here. These ideals, these principles smack in the face of a lot of reality. Well, see, faith is about that. Faith is about looking at possibilities and potentials beyond what you see. It's not about how things are. Oh, yeah. We have robber barons, we have thieves, we have people in $2,000, $3,000 suits that have 4 or 5 homes that are as mean as mercenaries as those chiefs in the deserts and the hideaways of the world that perpetrate violence close at hand, where those in the $200, $2,000 suits do violence far and distant from their hands. The reality of faith for the 21st century, faith for a post-religious world where somewhere we thought there was authorities that were making things happen for us. Grow up. What we've learned since World War II is that it's in our hands. And because it's in our hands, we're failing. We're failing because we're separated from one from another in ideals that don't serve everyone's needs. We have been in the West exploiters of the East for over 1,000 years. Now, how in the world, if anyone understands history and human nature, can we not expect some reaction from that? We have been a part, our culture has been a part of villainy. We have to deal with that legacy, and we have to find ways to get out of that. Well, Doug, what does that have to do with religious faith or spirituality or anything we have to do with our lives? I think most of us in this room carry around a lot of guilt, a lot of sense of responsibility, a lot of hurt because of the senselessness in life and the violence and the stupidity that human beings get involved in. We see the hurt and pain around us, and we feel helpless to deal with it. We don't know where to find a place to be a healing agent, to be a servant of the good, to be about changing things for the better. Because in many ways we are a part of that problem. We don't understand that life has its long, long arc, as Dr. King talked about. And the arc of history is toward justice and healing if we can stay with the ideals. So the faith for us, the hope for us, for folks who moved out of the authorities, who have said, just follow these dictates, just go by these rules, just do these things in faithfulness. Give me your 10%, give me your dedication, give me your time, and we will separate you from the soiled and the unsaved, and you will be okay. We come to the experience saying, hey, we're all in this together. Whatever floats your boat is fine. Whatever raises your flag is fine, but understand that you are accountable to me and I'm accountable to you for your behavior. If it doesn't serve the good of all of us and the health of all of us, then we have issues. We have problems. We have to talk. What do you want to do? You want to kill us both? Does that serve your God? Does that serve your children? Does that serve your legacy? We have to find ways and values that touch everyone on this globe. That's our challenge. That's what faith looks like. How do we ascribe to that? How do we pull that out of the world? How do we pull it out of ourselves? Well, we do it with imagination. We do it with hope. We do it with perseverance, and we do it with dedication. I know that the only thing that sustains, I remember about every day my mom and dad. My dad would have been 90 years old today. He died in 1976. I'm nearly 15 years older than he was when he died. But I remember his love. That's what's of value to me. I don't have his stuff, but I have his love. Now, if that not be the common denominator in human life, then, well, let's close it all down and go have a party. We are holders of that light. We are holders and heirs to the vision of all people being capable of working out their life, dealing with their children, dealing with faith, and finding ways to be good and purposeful in the world, to find meaning in our love, to find meaning in our creativity, to find meaning in our response to what challenges us. It's about laughter, it's about fun, it's about an expression of the wonder around us. But it's not an expression of making everyone the same and judging everyone from our deficiencies or our fears. I don't care who anyone sleeps with. What I care about is how you treat me, how you treat your brothers and sisters in the world, how you treat this fragile planet we're on, how we find ways to be less aggressive in our use of finite resources, how we respond. That's what human beings have as their treasure. That's what they have in their toolkit. That's what they have in their personalities, a creative ability to respond to new situations. If the old ways don't work, which we were taught they didn't, because no king, no ruler, no religion can turn us back from our barbarism, except us. No rules will change us. No preachers will misdirect us or redirect us. Human beings have to come to the conclusion that we're all in this together. We're all on this blue boat. We're all about a life of cooperation and interaction that the world depends on. Life depends on it. With that atom bomb and Oak Ridge and Los Alamos, all of those discoveries, we found out we are the trained monkeys and the talented animals that can end life as we know it. We killed God a long time ago. There are no rescue ships coming for us. We're here. What are we going to do with that? Now, we can hide in creeds. We can hide in inherited religions. We can hide in our hedonism. We can spend all the money, make all the money, use all the people we want to. We can have a lot of fun. And then 70, 80 years, we're just flipped away like everyone else. The candle goes out and we're gone. The challenge of people who care, the challenges and opportunities because you are here, is to be encouraged and be affirmed that there's a different way to live. There's a kinder way to live. There's a sensible way to live. There's a wholesome way to live. There's a good way to live. And that is embracing our problems, embracing our animal, but also learning the angels of our nature, of expressing love and charity and kindness, of seeing not in Rodolfo a pain in the butt to get off this grounds, but someone to embrace and give him an expression of what American human beings and Unitarian Universalists look like. Not to give him something, but to encourage his initiative. See, stuff that's close at hand. It's easy to pontificate in in discussions of great ideas, but when someone comes up to you and pulls on your sleeve and says, "I'm here, what can I do?" You're called to a response. The faith for the post-religious era, the faith for the time when the authorities don't know anymore, or they don't matter. The president talks to us the other night, 34 million people listened, and it doesn't matter. We're running a war for 13 years around the world. We don't even get a bill for it, and it doesn't matter. And we're whistling through the cemetery, and many of us are just going, where in the hell are we going with all this? What are our children and grandchildren going to be involved in? What are they going to have to face? Can we go back to shore? Can we find a safe way through this? There is only through it, folks. And that is waking up, understanding we're agents of good or neglect. We're agents of possibilities or broken promises. We're agents of hope or despair. I wish Jesus would come back. I'd give him a job. Clean this mess up. But it's me and you and people like us around the world who care. And I'm not trying to single us out as special. We are cursed because we care. We see it. Well, I want us to go away from this place every week encouraged that it's okay. We're in the fight. We're in the struggle. We're about our lives as best we can engage it. The internal life that torments many of us with depression, with doubt, with hurt, with loss. We're just trying to struggle to get up every morning and keep going. To those of us who have a global perspective and just hurt with the pain of the world because it looks so senseless. It looks so inhumane. It looks so desperate. It looks so wrong. Henry David Thoreau is credited with the line that most people live just lives of quiet desperation. I think most people today live lives of noisy desperation. It just comes down on us. It comes from our children. It comes from our inner voices saying we need to be doing this, we need to be doing that. It's not about guarantees, folks. It's about faith. It's about saying those 7 principles, looking at them, looking at the fallacy of them, but also looking at the promise of them. Because what it says with our energy and our dedication and our hope and our hard work, we can make things better. We can make things matter. We do not have to rely on a God somewhere. We rely on the forces of life and nature to make it right. I had a friend tell me, bless his heart, a long time ago, it was a wonderful line that sort of sticks with you. Everything tends toward growth. Life will out without us or with us. The decision is still out there whether we're parasites or co-creators. Unitarian Universalists in our faith perspective says we're co-creators. We can help guide this energy, this existence, we peoples into a better world. Our forebears have been those who said no slavery. Our forebears have said pay people fair. Our forebears said give women a chance, they're part of us. Our forebears and present says gay and lesbian people are okay people, get over it. Life is about the wholeness and the wholesomeness that we can find cooperating with our differences. Humanity and creation is diverse. It's an energizing and energetic codependency where everything matters and everything is of a critical part. You pull one part out, you hurt the whole life. You bring toxicity to the system, it affects the system. We're to a point in our maturity as human beings that it seems that only violence is the force we refer to. How many peace talks are there? How many people are talking about our brothers and sisters around the world? We're fighting terror. Who created terror? What did the Europeans do when they landed in Cuba? What did they do when they came to the New World? What did they do to my Cherokee ancestors and your Indian people? Terrorism is a thing of the human heart. It's not a political stance. It's informed and it's inspired by fear, that which is other is different from me, so thus I should be afraid. Maybe that's a brother and sister I haven't met yet that's been somewhere else. Faith brings us to that point. Is it sure? Is it harmless? Is it without fear? Is it without risk? Of course not. It's what life calls us to. We can hide in our forts. We can build our armaments. We can have our bombs. And we can destroy life. And we can make it a very meager thing. Or we can dance some and sing some and embrace otherness, the otherness of life, with a joy that tells us we are a part of something magical and not something of dread. The faith for the post-religious period, the faith for our times, is one of hopefulness and loving kindness and creativity. As long as we can complain, we got hope. As long as we can see the problems, we have a possibility. When we become complacent, when it becomes, oh, well, that's the way it is, we've had it always, then we've lost some a bit of our humanity. Because at some point we need to be righteous. At some point we need to say, let's not do this way anymore. Let's not send our kids off anymore. Let's not buy the Wall Street and the marketing folks' junk anymore. Let's not wave flags and put people separate from patriotic, non-patriotic. Let's just put ourselves as human beings that care about our fellow human beings in a world that's strange and scary. Let's talk about new ways of engaging crops and productivity and usefulness in the world. Let's quit separating ourselves from one another. And when we go to Hardee's or McDonald's or any restaurant, any place we see, rather than seeing someone who is a servant of ours or a hired hand, let's just see someone other. If we could pull that off, if we could live that consistently and with some dedication, it might just work. You show me what is, if it isn't that. If it isn't our humanity reaching out to the rest of humanity to say, let's be in this journey together. Let's love as much as we can, and let's see how in the world we can fix this mess. Can you give up that? I think I can give up this. Can you figure out a way to work that angle? Maybe I can work this angle. Is anybody talking about that? No, we're just raising funds. We're just raising money for run politicians. What do they do with that money? No one votes. Think about it. Where's it going? It's going to experts to tell them how to get people not to vote so they can get reelected by the few that do vote. It's amazing. Enough of that. I'm going down the wrong trail here. If you're not getting the love you want, check on the love you're giving. If you're not getting the life you want, check on the life you're living. If you're not getting the response you want in life, see what choices you're making that might be different that can make that happen. I'm not saying forget who you are. I'm saying be authentically yourself, but understanding you're talking and you're engaging with other people the same way. It's about respect. It's about hope. It's about a faith that we can grow into, not something we discover. I'm glad we're about it together, and I know that these ideas, they may not be true, they may not be golden, and they may not work, but I don't see anything any better on the horizon. The inherent worth and dignity of every person. Oh me, do I have to stretch my personality and my love that far? Justice and equity and compassion for human relations. Yeah, but some people need what they get. No, I don't want to do that. Acceptance of one another and encouragement of spiritual growth in our congregations. Yeah, but some of us are just silly. We shouldn't believe that crap. A free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Oh yeah, as long as I'm telling you what to search for. Yeah. the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregation and society at large. 51% doesn't make a majority. Yes, I guess it does. Oh well. Let's divide ourselves up and say I'm right and you're wrong. That'll work, yeah. That goes real far. I've seen how that works in families, yeah. The goal of a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. I don't know, I may have to give up something. That person may set as good as me at some place. Respect for the interdependent web of existence of which we are part. Yeah, but I like being cool and warm. I don't know whether you got the idea. Faith is moving beyond what we see as the present to what's possible and seeing ourselves as agents of making that happen. And happy, creative, dedicated co-creators. May it be so.
To support the UUCT with your generous financial gifts, please go to the UUCT website and click on the Click Here link to donate. It will take you to our donation page, and you can securely make your donation to the church. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Our next hymn is number 168, One More Step. One more step, we will take one more step, till there is peace for us. Everyone will take one more step. One more word, we will say one more word, till every word is heard by everyone. We'll say one more word. One more prayer, we will say one more prayer, till every prayer is shared by everyone. We'll say one more prayer. One more song, we will sing one more song, till every song is sung by everyone. We'll sing one more song.
Love is the promise. Love is the expression of the fact that I will relate to you and be with you as I would like you to relate and be with me. I will hold you special in my heart. I will see in you an extension of myself, and I will cherish you as I cherish myself. That's good stuff. And that stuff will sustain us and can possibly save us. If we can see it as a universal, if we can see it as an ethic, if we can see it as a theology. It's not about gods, it's not about heavens, it's not about hells. It's about the requirement of what it means to be a human being in the world of such close proximity and such limited resources. Be of love and in love, friends.